And just like that, we're out of the cup. And honestly, we did not deserve anything else. Because what were we thinking? It almost felt like Allegri before the game in the locker room with all the players, sitting around him. He just stood there and said, "Boys, doesn't matter. I don't want you to try. I don't want you to get tired. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Just go out there and try to not lose. And as long as we don't lose, we'll have a chance at penalties and progressing to the next round." That's what I think happened. Even if, these were obviously not the words, but I cannot think about anything else because in the first half, Milan were not even on the field. We were doing nothing. We're just passing around, trying to long balls here and there, trying to somehow create a chance, but we didn't have a shot on target. At least I can't remember that we did. Maybe at the end of the half, but it was so boring. And obviously the team was rotated because not many of the starters were on the field to begin with. Salamakers was there, pretty invisible in the first half. Leao, the whole game, didn't do much. Loftus-Cheek, the midfield actually, was pretty good. I was happy with the midfield. Yashari, Ricci, Loftus-Cheek, Rabiot, those guys were good, but they were not the difference today. But I did like Yashari's passing. He had some long balls with pinpoint accuracy. Ricci was solid in that defensive role. Loftus-Cheek was a machine. I didn't have a problem with them, but they are not the type of players who can be the difference. And I can confirm that without Modric, without Pulisic, this team is just, I don't know, it's just okay, I guess. And maybe it was just the day. Maybe we didn't really care about the cup, which is stupid, because there's no guarantee that we're going to win the league or even finish in the top 4. But I guess Allegri was banking on that. If I look at the statistics, which I don't have right now, maybe we had more of the ball, but shots on target, chances created, all in favor of Lazio. Because they wanted to play. They came here and said, you know what? You beat us last week. We're going to show you that we can beat you. And we were just assisting to that, pretty much. Which is annoying, because I think we should try to win every single game. But maybe Allegri is this master tactician that just said, listen, if we put 50% into this game, then we'll have more in that game and this and that. I just can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. I want the team to go out there and try to win every single game. It doesn't matter who we play. If we play Real Madrid, I would expect the team to try and win. Not play for the draw, push for the win. And if we lose, then we will have lost to a better team. But today, we didn't try. At least in the first half. Maybe the second half, let's talk about that for a minute, was better. Maybe the halftime talk in the locker room was where Allegri said, all right, guys, this actually, scratch what I said, you need to do better. Because maybe he realized that Lazio wanted to win this game. Or I don't know. I don't know. It's so, the two halves are just so different that I'm having a hard time understanding what Allegri wanted from the beginning. Because if he said, ahead of the game, if he said, guys, we beat them last week, so they're going to come at us because they want revenge. So your job is to make sure that doesn't happen and make sure that we grab an early goal, that we pass around, we create chances, we make whatever we need to make to break through Lazio to get the goal and get the win. If that was the case, then the entire team misunderstood or didn't hear him or whatever, because they did nothing in the first half. Coming into the second, I started to become more positive because Milan started to become more positive. We had the ball, we created chances, Salamakers had a good shot. We just couldn't find that goal because we had a rotated team. Leao missed a huge sitter from a pass. I think it was Estupinian, who actually had a good game. I have to give it to him. Estupinian was not bad today. But Leao missed from like 6 yards out. At his level, maybe you would expect to put it on goal. But that was just the game. And then came the goal. And I'm sorry, I need to emphasize this. I have spoken about this so many times. Milan suck at set pieces. It doesn't matter if it's an attacking or a defensive set piece. We just don't know what the hell to do with them. And whoever is the set piece coach needs to fucking go. Because our team is so clueless at set pieces that it's painful to watch. Because at the goal, from the corner, Zaccagni was so free. Nobody was around him. And he even had to take 2 steps back to create that separation from the defenders and just head it into goal. Because nobody was watching him. And it makes me so angry because this has been the theme for so long without anything happening. No improvement whatsoever. Not tonight. We had a few corners. We had one corner routine that was unexpected. It was a short corner, pass back to Salamakers, who had a cross the goal shot. That was a good shot. It wasn't a bad shot. It just wasn't good enough. But otherwise, we are just not dangerous whatsoever from set pieces. We might as well just give the ball to the goalkeeper saying, all right, you go. Because there's no chance that we're going to ever score a corner, a free kick, anything. And then in the last 10 minutes, Allegri was kind of scrambling. He was trying to make something happen. Brought in Pulisic, who immediately made the difference. It's so ridiculous that the team and the plays with and without Pulisic are just so different. It's remarkable. He came in, he had a shot, good dribbles. He was dynamic like nobody else. I do not understand what the plan was tonight. But whatever it was, it failed spectacularly. And now we're out of the cup in the last 16. After last year, going to the final. And even this season, I feel like the bracket was kind of favorable, if I want to say that word. We had Atalanta, Bologna, all the big guns. Napoli and Inter were on the other side of the bracket. We had Juventus that we would have needed to play potentially. It would have been easier. I'm not saying easy. I'm saying easier. But apparently we didn't need the cup. And right now, we better freaking get into the top 4 because Allegri put all his chips on the league now. I don't like that decision, but we're first in the league, so there's a good chance that maybe we can do something. But this game was terrible. I don't even want to think about it. So let's do the usual ratings or picks. What I loved in this game was Yashiri, probably. His return. He looked good. He looked good on the field. Loftus-Cheek was also good, but I think Yashiri was a huge question mark because after an injury like that, it's really, you can flip a coin to decide whether he's going to be good or bad. But he came back good, and I like that. What I did not like was the tactic, the idea, what we wanted to do. I don't understand what we wanted to do. The closest I can get is really just to, trying not to lose, which is always a recipe for failure. It was tonight too. Player of the match on the Milan team. Nobody did anything. Maybe Salamakers because he was dynamic enough. He had a few shots. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Yeah, I'll give it to Salamakers. It doesn't matter. I like that dude, so, He had a shot that needed to be saved, so I guess that's reason enough. But this was just so bad. And on Monday, we better win against Torino, because if we don't, Allegri will be the clown of the town in Milan. Bars.